rotation.
Oh,
I do chest and triceps day, which I just do wide grip bench, close grip bench, decline bench, and tricep extensions, or military, or skull crushers, whichever one you like to call them. And then my next day I do back and, although deadlifts do everything, but back and bicep. So I do deadlift, bicep, curls. What the hell else did I do today? Deadlift, and standing. I do standing rows.
Oh, good.
I make do with what I just have a bar and some weights and I don't have.
But it's better that.
I don't have dumbbells or anything else to.
What's next?
Hit me up, barkeep.
Oh. And then my third day of the rotation, I do legs and shoulders. So I do squats, and I do calf raises, and shoulder plate raises. So I basically just hold the plate, lift it up to my shoulders, hold for 3, bring it back down, and then military press, barbell press, overhead. You just stand and push the bar over your head. And that's basically what I do. But I do I rotate that, but I do it like 5 days every morning. So wake up and do one of them and switch it every day.
Sounds like a lot of work.
Actually, to be honest, it's
masturbate. That's a workout too, though.
Sure. Anyway, to be honest, I actually don't mind. I like waking up. I like doing stuff. Makes me feel awake. Like I've done something in the morning.
Yeah, I can't do that.
You'd have to wake up. Yeah, you see, I'm probably getting... To start working out, I get up at like 7:15.
Yeah, that's about the time I wake up too.
Yeah, but
Mine's 6:45, just because the stupid hydro rates are slightly cheaper.
it makes... But don't they just do average billing anyway? It makes no difference.
No, I don't think so.
No, mine is.
They look at it all and say some stuff, so... I guess, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to, I don't know what episode this is.
Is
4?
this the third or fourth?
Fourth.
4? Number 4.
I believe this is 4.
A little late, but better late than never, honestly.
Correct.
Truly.
True. I agree. It's been
2 months
It's
now.
been busy. Yeah, we've been doing this for a bit.
Yeah, someone didn't necessarily have their topics in until
Hey,
2 hours ago.
hey, they're in.
Yeah.
Be happy.
If you don't get them in, you have to snort pepper. And that's like the starting offense.
I'm just gonna start sending them to you tonight.
That'd
Here's
be
the next 10.
Yeah, but then if your topic sucks or it's not relevant by the time, then you should also have to snort pepper.
All ours are 5 days old, so I don't think that's a good rule at all.
Alright, snort some pepper, motherfuckers.
That's true. Ours is old news by now. Fine, fair enough. We'll let that one go.
Old news. First, someone tried to break into the bank Tavistock. I think you know a little bit more about that, considering you live out in Tavistock.
I do. On Thursday of last week.
When we were supposed to do the Ramble On. And then we didn't.
We had a
Right.
pipe.
That was sad on the weekend. I don't know what happened Thursday.
Oh, that's right.
Oh yeah. Thursday I had activities.
No.
I forgot to send you a picture. Guess pepper for me, right?
At drywall dust, you could snort that. I don't have any pepper down here.
There's an episode of Strange Addictions where that chick ate drywall.
There was one where she ate ashes, people's ashes.
I missed the ashes one.
Fucking
That's kind of
messed up.
fucked.
It's like the episode of South Park where Cartman mixes Kenny's ashes up because he mixes chocolate milk.
Or, Due Date with Zach Galifianakis
Right.
and Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr., where they mix up his father's ashes.
With cocaine or?
No, just in a coffee.
Oh.
They put them in a coffee maker.
Interesting.
Pretty tasty.
How was that?
It's low battery. It's the plight of a Samsung Galaxy S4 owner.
That's the cry for help.
It is. Anyway, so last Thursday, someone decided to... You'd never think in small town Canada that someone would come in with a gun and try to rob a bank. as far as I know, from what I've read, they didn't actually get anything. They came in, and the manager...
They really followed through with their plan of action.
Right. As far as I know, the guy came in, and there was commotion outside, and the manager came out. I don't know if it was to like actually tussle with the guy, or he didn't actually see what was going on and just came out to see what was happening. And I guess the guy freaked and like pistol whipped the manager of the office and then fled. Before achieving getting anything. Manager
was it like an actual robbery? Because it sounds like it could have just been like a fight outside the bank, and the manager was like, "What's going on?" And then
no, not this was this happened inside the bank.
Oh,
Did somebody
Not
cut
outside.
in front of the guy in line, or like?
Yeah. So I don't know. Apparently he's a he's about our height. Black, apparently, of course. It's a small town. He had a hat and a hoodie and a balaclava on, so you could see like his nose. But apparently black. I'm sure that's probably just small town racism. But yeah, so he's out there. No one knows.
You know what's interesting is that Aaron had a pretty good idea for robbing a bank, but not just a bank, all the banks.
All the banks.
Go.
Same
with this.
time.
At the same time. Why should I describe this to our viewers?
Because
You
it's
were.
funny.
Well,
It's a good story.
So
I
how-
have a small tweak to make to it, but I think it's a good story.
So how it starts is we have in our city 7 banks, right? We
Correct.
have one Scotia downtown. We have an RBC downtown and on the east end. A TD downtown.
We have 2 Scotias.
Yeah, but the CM. what is
No,
it?
we've got downtown.
and
We've got downtown and CH Meyer.
Right. Okay. So sorry. That's right. That makes 5. One.
Right, that's great. Very
Anyways,
important.
okay.
Libro, all that jazz.
Oh, that's jazz. So you'd have anywhere between 7 and 10 banks or credit unions if you wanted to include them as well. Our police force is pretty limited. So what you do is you have everybody essentially deploy at the exact same time. Now, Alex and I talked about this at length, I will mention, about this.
I wouldn't have everyone going at the same time. I'd have people that you least like go first. You send them 5-10 minutes first, and then you send everyone else like after that. And then after the 5 minutes after that, then you go, because the police are definitely busy with that. The first 15 minute, and then they're going to be called at the second wave of attacks, and then you're the third, and hopefully they're all busy. That's just my takeaway from.
So you
Now-
need like a huge mob to go and do this.
That's the thing is that with 17 banks, you need 14 people. Technically, it would be better if it was 21 people.
So you need
Once
2 per bank, basically, is what you're saying.
2 per bank plus a driver.
Interesting.
My
My thing, why rob a bank?
yeah, I don't have that much money.
That's and
No,
when I-
yeah, money is like a figurative little figment. It's nothing. It's air. There's no real money anymore.
You have to hack the bank.
Right. That's what you need. You need to take bits of transactions. You gotta office space it. You know, where
Take like
the
2
money is
cents.
rounded off to like so many decimals that, you know, it doesn't really make sense. So the company just rounds off all those decimals. You just take those decimals and have them thrown into another bank account. They're never gonna know it's like half a penny, not even.
And in Office Space, they only held on to it for 48 hours or something like that, and then they gave the money back to.
Well, that's because it didn't work. It was supposed to take like. It's supposed to be like a retirement plan. It was supposed to take
Yeah.
like 10 years to accumulate that amount of money. You know, like so much time they would never know. But all of a sudden the account had like 300 grand in it, and it had only been like a couple weeks. And obviously there was a mistake, and that's what led to the whole story. But anyway, that idea, that's kind of what you'd have to do with a bank.
well, and like when I worked in the bank, I had this idea before I worked in the bank. But I will note. When I worked in the bank, when I was a teller, we had at most we were allowed $15,000 at the top, and in our safe, which had
How you doing?
a 5-minute timer.
So if it was open for more than 5 minutes?
No, it took 5 minutes from the time you dialed it to get in,
Oh.
and then
so,
it popped, and then we had 20 seconds to open up the vault, or else it reset. And we were
Interesting.
allowed 25,000 out
Yeah.
of that. So even if you timed it perfectly. And we were not supposed to have 2 vaults open at the same time. That was the rule, but we didn't really necessarily follow it.
That's what rules are there for, to follow.
To break.
Right, but at the same time, you know, you have 2, you know, one person's short on their 20s or whatever, and they're like, hey, can I open mine? And I was like, I've already got my timer open. She's like, fuck it, I'll just do mine too. But if somebody had walked in at that point, the absolute most, because we got in shit if we ever were over, like the $25,000 in the base, because then we have to take it back to the back vault. Now, even if we had 3 tellers working, that's 15 on the top and 25 on the bottom each. So it's 120 grand, right? Not bad.
Yeah,
It's not.
robbing a bank worth it?
No, not for the penalty.
You gotta hit them when they're moving the money. When they're getting the money. 'Cause those guards aren't supposed to shoot you unless they're in fear for their life. So if you're like, dude, I'm not gonna hurt you, just give me your money, they can't shoot you. Although they
I'm
might not
pretty
give
sure
you-
they probably will not care.
They probably won't give you the money either. Like, well, you're not gonna hurt me, so I'm not giving you the money.
I don't want to hurt you. Give me the money. Oh, you said dead.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's all. But see, my thing is a bank is set up kind of specifically to not be robbed by this point in time. Do you know what I mean?
You should rob diners. It cuts down on the hero factor.
Pulp Fiction style. My thing, what I've heard, you do the scrap dealers. Those guys, like the guy over on the corner there off Romeo, from what I've heard, he just keeps a big wad of like $5,000 just sitting in his thing, and then if you come in with stuff, he just goes and pulls out his thing, flips you some cash, and there you go. So all you have to do is go mask up, knock him over the head with the thing, take his money, and you're off, and you never know, and he's probably got no cameras or nothing to show anything.
Yeah, but junkyards usually have like big frickin' dogs, and that guy's probably got like a 22.
That's true. I don't know, but I just mean there's probably places more apt to just make off with, you know, if you're just going into if you're going for a big heist, like you're talking, coming out with a couple $100,000 potentially.
But that's
that
if you have, it has to be perfect timing, because you cannot be in a bank more than 120 or 180 seconds. That's your time window.
You made it sound like a lot of seconds, because you said like a minute
It's
and a half.
It's 2 or 3 minutes.
Why?
That's a lot. You could get a lot done in that amount of time.
You could, but that's from the time you get out of the, like you make them aware. Now, at the bank I was at, we did have secret alarms, but for some genius reason they weren't at our teller stations.
Melissa works at a bank, and she said that there was a robbery before this. I believe it was like at Scotia or something again, and the guy showed up at like 8 to rob the bank. The bank didn't open until 8:30. So he's like sitting there knocking on the glass, full like, get up, give me your money. The doors are all locked, so they just called the cops on him. You gotta know when the bank's open.
Right.
You got to do your homework.
Right. Well, you see, that's the thing, and the same with this guy in Tavistock is he seemed more just like an opportune thief. And if you're just going to be opportune to make some cash, why not hit up the IDA that's right next door? They've probably got a few grand. If you just want a few grand, you just go like a convenience store, you know, you just do it quick, get out, and leave. A bank is so high profile, people are all over that. You know, like, I could see if you've organized a heist. You know, you've planned it, you've watched
Payday.
it. Right, exactly. You've done something like that. Sure, a bank, you might actually, if you timed it out right and done it correctly, you might come away with a bit of cash. But if you're just walking in with a gun, going, give me your money, a bank probably isn't the right place to go. You know, you just do a little side store that's got, you know, you hit up Princess Variety or whatever.
You get like $20 and a carton of cigarettes, and you go to jail for an armed robbery and assault.
Right. There's just other places that have cash, you know, for an opportunity that you're more likely to get away with.
Yeah.
Pawnbroker.
Exactly.
Those cash
If anything, you
places.
can make. You're right. Yeah, exactly. Gold for cash. You know,
Yeah.
they probably got gold and shit laying all over the place.
Well, and the big
Did
thing.
you hear about it was like a diamond heist, or it was like a professional
Liberty
legit.
City?
No, it was in like London, England, and the guys like drilled through the top of the safe, and they actually got away. Like they're like the next day they showed up and they're like, oh well, the alarms went off 2 times last night. We didn't think it was anything, and now all the money's gone. Money like gold and diamonds, and it's what insurance is for.
It is.
Yeah.
Stupidity. It's true. A lot of times, it's even Carl. It's like we don't. Alarms have
Because
become a
we're
thing
all
that
numb
we.
to it.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, if somebody were to break into my office, I'm the one that gets called because I'm the only one that friggin' works in Stratford. So don't get any ideas. But
What's
you guys
there
don't
to-
have money.
Yeah.
but that's the thing.
You
Like,
get away with nothing. We've got petty cash.
If
like,
petty cash, and that's it. If we don't empty out the cash, we might have $1,000, maybe, because nobody pays cash anymore.
Us not either.
Like,
Unless someone made like a deposit or decided to pay their check to us that we would then send off to whoever. We might have money sitting around then, but still, they're usually checks made out to other. You'd really have to doctor them up to
Yeah.
pass it to be able
Yeah.
to do anything
the
with
the most cash I think we've had in one day was like $4,000,
it. Right.
and we did the bank deposit
That
that
day.
day.
Right. Exactly.
If you have a couple hundred, a little over $1,000, we just let it sit to the next day. We do it every 2 days though.
Oh. We just do ours once there gets to be enough significant amount to really warrant
Doing it.
doing it.
That's
But
I
anyway.
don't know who does mine.
But yeah, so I don't know. I think for the most part, a bank's kind of a stupid thing to do.
Mhm.
I think there's much more opportune ways to come off with a bit of cash and not potentially get caught.
I agree.
Hostage situation.
Yeah,
that's even
you
better.
know,
That's even fucking better.
right? Exactly. You get that. You go into a bank or you go into like a convenience store, the same get up. You take their cash, you get out. Nothing. But before you know it, you're in a bank. There's people. You've got people. Before you know it, like Canadian SWAT's called, whatever the hell those people are, and the RCMP. And
Have you ever stolen anything?
no.
Have you ever stolen anything?
Oh, yeah. The answer is
I have
yes.
to think about this. I don't think I have.
I know you have. That's okay. I won't make you say anything. I don't think.
What did I steal?
I'm not gonna tell because then you're gonna go to jail.
I don't know how long.
And
ago.
I was an
Statute of
accomplice too,
limitations.
so Jesus Christ.
Oh, I did. Yeah.
I saw what was going on. I didn't do anything.
Not only did you see, you felt what was going on.
Oh, were you the mule?
What?
Yeah.
Is that what you call it?
Yeah, he took a beating that day.
That sounded better when you said it. Anyway,
Anyways, have you ever stolen anything, Alex?
I don't think so.
You don't think
Not
so?
in my recent memory.
You were my accomplice though.
I was your accomplice. I mean,
Innocent bias. You're
I
there.
just didn't think it was gonna happen. So, I mean,
It was kind of sudden.
I'll have
can't
to
believe
find out
those
about this
people you
offhand.
murdered to get away with it too.
Look, it's the same in Skyrim. When
Poor
you kill
children.
people, you lose your bounty. So
What? Oh, you have to kill all the witnesses.
that's right.
Horses count as witnesses in that
They
game.
do.
Really?
What's with that? The horse gonna tell you like, he did it. You gotta kill everything.
Apparently.
I never played
All
enough of
the
that game.
things.
Speaking of killing everything,
Oh, segue.
Deadpool.
Oh, both mine up front. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, Deadpool.
Sex.
Kind of
new-
looks feminine in that uniform. Like if it had hair, long hair, you could pass it off as being a woman.
Probably could.
It's a nice uniform. It looks really realistic. Like not like, like Superman's frickin' get up like.
Right. This looks like
Batman's.
it was just put. Like this looks like
Yeah.
it's legit.
Yeah.
Like you could make it. At all.
Yeah, like stitching and it's legit. It's not like it's some perfect piece of material that doesn't actually exist.
I don't like the eyes. CG eyes. It's kind of weird.
One's bigger than the other.
Well, I think he's doing like a
Hey.
skeptical, yeah. Trying to do a sexy look or something. Anyway, yeah, Deadpool supposed to be coming out February of next year.
Holy shit, that's a long way away.
Ryan Reynolds plays Deadpool. I know. Well, they've just started filming. That's why
He
the
was hit
hype
by a
was
car.
over. He was hit by a
in
car.
Canada
Yeah.
When?
It was yesterday or.
Oh
a couple
shit!
days ago. I love how you and I know because we both look at Yahoo News. But yes, he was hit by a
I
motor
haven't seen or
vehicle.
done anything today, so I don't know.
Yeah, there he is.
Another
He's
pic. He's filming. Obviously, he's full of those motion sensors because none of it will actually be real.
So how many superheroes is he up to now? He did Green Lantern, right?
And no, that was Ben Affleck. And Deadpool, isn't it just the two?
Yeah. Does he do anything in like?
DC.
He was in R.I.P.D. wasn't he?
He was. Is that a Marvel thing?
I don't. It's like a
I don't think
It's like
that's
a hero thing, but
Yeah. But
Yeah.
for main superheroes, I think those are the two.
you know what my problem with this picture is?
What's that?
He's not wearing shoes.
No, I never noticed that.
Put some shoes on! Jesus! Walk around your bare feet.
Maybe he's
You
not allowed to.
Jesus?
He could contaminate the floor.
I don't think so.
Who knows? Anyway, so I think it'll be good. I think Deadpool is pretty cool. You know, yeah. That's pretty much all I
Who's
got.
he fight?
I don't know. Everybody.
Does he have like a nemesis?
To be honest, I don't actually know much about Deadpool.
I know nothing about
I
that.
don't know.
I just like the idea of Deadpool and the whole anti-hero. You know, he's kind of like
It might
a
be
bad guy
refreshing.
that does good things.
It might be refreshing.
Like Guardians of the Galaxy. I like anti-heroes.
Right,
Batman.
anti-hero. Yeah, exactly. Batman and yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy.
18.
It's gonna be
Precisely.
rated PG or R?
No, they were going.
18A?
Fox has announced that it was going to be PG-13, but there is a whole rising. I think they might be reconsidering because a movie and a character like Deadpool should probably be rated R. And I agree. The problem with a lot of the superhero movies these days is that they do it for the masses, and they don't really do it the way they probably deserve to be done. You know, if you take a lot of those movies and made them rated R instead, you could really get a lot. You know.
Yeah,
be a
but
lot better.
their target is like kids too.
Yeah, but they weren't like.
But
Like
what?
Batman
but what
or
else?
Spider-Man had a whole section of dark comics, though, you know, and stuff
But
like
at the
that that you
same-
can't get to.
But at the same time, on that, what do they advertise towards kids for the superheroes now? Growing up, I had never heard of Deadpool.
Really?
Maybe
well,
I
that's
lived-
just you.
No,
But I'm sorry. I guess I heard of him, but I never read.
He's
comics.
more of an
Kids
adult.
Kids don't necessarily read comics these days. I don't think. There's a small group. There's always going to be a niche
I
market
think
that does.
I think
but-
Deadpool is more of an adult
I don't know
character
about-
anyway.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, like
Spawn
he's
and
like Spawn and stuff like that.
Punisher.
Right, exactly. And I think that along the lines is how Deadpool should be done as well. You know, there is a series, and I think a lot of the comic books are made more for the older teen age than kids. You know, I can get the appeal of Avengers and stuff, you know, they're like goody two-shoes, happy, you know,
Okay, yeah.
yeah, happy ending comics, you know. But Deadpool and stuff like that isn't necessarily like that.
Makes sense.
So, I think it'll be good. I hope.
I think
It's been a long time, and there's been a lot of announcements and a lot of talk
Ant-Man?
over.
That's not him.
No,
Who's Ant-Man?
I don't know. He's another Marvel superhero.
No, the guy who's playing him.
Oh, I have no idea.
I don't know.
I'd have to look it up.
Can you tell me, please? Thank you. Okay, so yeah. I'm looking forward to see it.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Superhero
feel like
movies are always good.
I think I like this one because he's an anti-hero, and I'm not a big fan of the normal hero movies anymore. I feel like they're too done. It's just all the same.
Right. This should be refreshing.
I hope so.
A different change.
Also,
Oh man, Scorpion.
Mortal Kombat. Is that 10 or X? But Mortal Kombat
10.
10. They made 10 of those. And then like all like the branch offs too, like
Of course.
10.2, 10 point whatever, Blood Tide, and
Yeah.
it's it was coming out I think on the 14th today, which is today, which
Nice.
won't be today for when this gets put up, but it'll be out for you guys. It's not out for us,
They
or it
probably
is
already
out.
all beat it.
Depends which
Yeah.
way you're looking at this.
Actually, I think it's Mortal Kombat is kind of a game that you
You can't.
probably could beat all in one sitting, just because it's just matches, right? And work your way up. Apparently, there's a new storyline, along with some old characters, but it's still pretty much, you know, fighting. What I like about it is it's really, it's like Deadpool, rated R, definitely.
yeah.
Blood. The
Right.
finishers are like, wow.
Gory. They always were. You know, like the guy had the hat with the saw. You throw it and you chop people's heads off. And
Yeah.
I
You like
played-
punch through
you
someone.
ever played?
No. I haven't played this in a long.
Oh, I was about to
time.
say. Yeah,
It's
like
your couch
Cape.
co-op, which is
Yeah.
nice.
Yep. Scorpion and
Johnny,
Johnny and the ice guy.
Yeah.
Fuck, can't think of that.
Mr. Freeze,
Mis-
Dr. Freeze.
But
Yeah, definitely looks cool.
I hope it's all about. I hope they haven't dumbed it down. I hope it's all ridiculous combos to do moves and shit.
I don't think it's as difficult but there's definitely combos and finishers. I think the finishers are easy to do. I
Right,
think
it's
that's
more
what
like
it is.
walk up and hit like Y and done.
I don't think it's that easy, but
Yeah. I just missed, you had to like punch, duck, uppercut, punch, button to like Hadouken.
yeah.
That's Street Fighter, but still, same
Yeah.
idea.
Same idea.
The first time I played this, it was like the first time I stayed up like all night to play a video game. I was at like a friend's house and we just freaking went, and you stayed up till like 3 and like crash, and then you're up at like 6 again the
Oh,
next
yeah.
morning. You're like,
Oh, yeah,
you're playing the games.
I've done that. That was a Heroes.
Freaking
Heroes
sweet.
I did from, my cousin and I did from like 7 p.m. till 4 a.m. and then we slept for a couple hours and got at 7 a.m. and then played a game through till like 3 p.m.
Like Heroes Might and Magic.
Yeah, here's 3 Might Magic.
Pretty sweet.
Oh, it's awesome.
You just do that all the time with video games. Too old now.
Yeah, I can never
It's
stay
like-
up that late.
What time is it now? I'm tired.
Yeah.
But
It's like 11 o'clock.
The responsibility thing kicks
Yeah.
in. Like I'll be playing Skyrim or something at like 1 o'clock or midnight. And like, okay, well, play for a little bit longer, and all of a sudden it's like, boom, 1
I'm
o'clock.
asleep.
I'm like,
For like 2 hours at midnight.
yeah, that's
Like
pretty-
dead asleep.
Yeah, my thing. I've done it. Like I get going to my cousins sometimes, and we're hanging out playing like Wii U and doing shit. And then it gets to a state where they're all itching to go, and I'm like, I feel like I'm just staying up for the sake of not going to bed. It's like I want to go home. I've had enough. It's like midnight.
It would be kind of nice to do it again.
We'll have to,
Yeah, if we plan
film
to-
some like gaming get together nights, and you guys can stay the night, and we'll do some games and
That'd be cool.
Be a good time. Even just
put
like
it up for you guys.
yeah, Friday night and see how the night develops, and you can kind of show the clock, being like, oh, it's 2 o'clock.
No,
Aaron's already passed out, but
we just play until we die. Or,
Literally
it's-
die.
The weekend's over. Yeah. But I think the reason I'm so tired right now is because I almost died.
Do you have those? I want to see those.
I was doing some work, as you can tell, but not anything like this. I was just only I was trying to get rid of the old telephone wires and the old cable because they're up there. We're never gonna use them. We're never gonna have a home phone.
Right.
So I just wanted to get rid of them, and like they're just freaking hanging around and being a pain in my ass. So I was cutting them, and I wasn't exactly paying attention 100%, and I cut the wire that goes to the hot water heater. It's electric hot water heater, so it's the 240 20 amp. And yeah, that was fun. Apparently unlucky to be alive, but it wasn't like they couldn't admit me to the hospital. There was no for really bad electrical, you have like it goes in like this arm and goes out your foot, and you have burns on both ends,
Right.
and pretty much everything along the way has been fried. So yeah, they
You didn't have that though.
I didn't have that.
You're lucky.
They said that it because it's like you're getting tased, and you see when people get tased, like their muscles all spasm. It's like a mini workout. So I definitely felt like I did a workout, and they're like, because your whole body's pretty much doing a workout, you get like that lactic acid buildup,
Right.
and when that filters through your kidneys can start to malfunction. So really, all they said was drink plenty of water, and if you are feeling like you're about to die and your urine's like bloody, then you should probably come back in. But Curtis hasn't seen these yet.
No, have you?
I have.
It's pretty messed.
There's
It was,
those are the I don't know how well you can see that, but that's that. Nam. All right, isn't that awesome? So
Curtis is he's yet to see those.
Shit.
Yeah, my whole hand was like just black
Really?
from the whatever it was. But it's
Yeah,
definitely-
well, you're definitely not using insulated pliers.
yeah, that's also
That
an issue.
is... That's pretty crazy. That's really crazy.
so it's just so hot that I melted it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my hand was right where Curtis's hand is, and the
So
electricity.
as soon as it hit, did you just like your hand just shocked off?
You can't control yourself.
Did you crap your pants?
I did not. I kept. Although afterwards, like
You did crap your pants?
I went to the bathroom after, and then I was at the hospital, and I had to go to the bathroom again, and then when I came home again, so like really, aside from a little bit of pain,
You also detox.
yeah, it's like a great detox. It's a workout.
Everyone, go get yourself electrocuted.
Do it. It's, I mean,
Just shove the scissors right in the outlet.
that's
great.
less. Those outlets they're only 15.
Oh yeah, go get one of those big outlets.
You know where your stove's plugged in? Yeah, go stick
Yeah.
a fork in there.
Yeah, you know, it's not only is it a great workout, you get the detox. You're maybe a day off work, you're good to go.
If you do it at work, you'll get workers' comp.
Oh, that's a great thing to do.
But yeah, you definitely you can't like control yourself. So I'm not exactly sure what happened.
Don't
I remember the explosion and going ah, and then next thing I knew, I was getting off the ladder. Still going. It was like a typical in my head. It sounded like a typical like person getting like ah. That's what it sounded like in my head, and like the actual shaking. And I was like, I couldn't.
And
I was getting off the
your
ladder.
bones are visible, and
I didn't see that, but maybe if I looked, I would have saw it. And then I was kind of sitting up against the furnace because that's what I fell up against because I couldn't walk. And I was looking, and there was smoke coming out of the pliers, and they were still hanging up there. And Brian Mel's sister-in-law, he came in. He's like, "What happened? Like, you okay?" I was like, I don't know. And my tongue, it felt really weird. And all I could smell for the rest of the day was burning. Like, I washed my hands like 5 times, and I could still smell the burn on my hands from the electrical.
Wow.
Mel came down, and she was like, "What the hell happened?" She thought she did something. Anyway, now I'm deadly afraid of electrical wires.
Especially
And
after
even
the cottage.
Even plugging stuff like the camera and the light and everything in, I was like, oh, because like I'm still like slight trouble breathing. And my arm, like right in my shoulder socket, which is the hand I was using, it hurts like a bugger. I can move all my fingers though.
Well, that's good.
But
Well, we're glad you're okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm deadly afraid of electricity now, and this is going to pose my question to you. What are you guys afraid of? Or rather, when you were a child, what ridiculous fears did you have that looking back now you're like, no, that was kind of dumb. That was probably not a fear.
So I have a really good one.
Glad.
I used to play Risk on the computer.
Cool.
So it was back in the day when the like Kellogg's and Post and those companies had really great giveaways in their cereal boxes. And it's not like, oh, you have to collect 3 of these and send it off.
Yeah, they
No,
just
no,
gave
no,
away
no.
the disc that had like
That's
life
right.
and shit.
Yeah, those are fantastic. Thank you.
Good thing.
So
Gotta piss so bad.
So I remember that I played Risk, and I was playing this after dark and well into the night. And I remember that they had some not like graphic cutscenes at all,
Right.
but it was still like when I was 8 or 9,
Right.
they were pretty scary. And I remember getting up, needing to piss so badly in the middle of the night that I would literally like how my room was situated. So there was the bed, and like in the center of one of the what is that, the north wall, and the door was just in the southeast corner over here. So I got up and I literally like stood beside the doorway like James Bond up against the wall, and I had to, it took me half an hour to will myself to open up the door to look out there because I was terrified that Colonel Mustard was fucking waiting for me. I don't know why, but it
That
just...
was Risk, not Clue.
Sorry, Clue, thank you. I'm sorry.
Clue's a little bit.
Yeah,
I
sorry.
would get that a bit more. It's
Sorry,
a little
Clue,
darker.
yeah. So,
Someone's gonna murder you with a frickin'
candlestick in the hallway or in the shitter. and I was pretty terrified of the dark. It's not like...
I think everyone when they're little is afraid of the dark.
Yeah, the dark was probably my thing too.
You didn't have anything ridiculous?
I hate to be the boring one, but to be honest,
Like
no,
when
nothing's ever really phased me.
when science.
things in the closet. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. I had to sleep with both closet doors shut.
Melissa
entirely.
has to have the closet door shut too.
Meh. No.
The
The thing that gets me now, sometimes on the computer we'll be listening to like Pandora internet radio, then we'll pause it, and then in the middle of the night at like 4 in the morning, sometimes it'll just randomly decide to unpause itself and start playing, and you wake up in the middle of the night and there's just like music blaring through
your
the house.
computer updated.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Because mine will do that when my computer, like I'll set stuff to upload overnight,
Right.
and if it does updates overnight, it'll shut down and then restart.
Yeah, but it shouldn't have opened up my stuff again. It should just come up blank. I have a login screen. There is no way. Yeah, it just randomly starts in the middle of the night.
That is odd because mine will come back up.
So
Everything I had open.
here's the question then. It'll be an extension. I was pretty, especially growing up where we grew up in, more so into my teenage years at Glastonbury, and you know these stories. Do you guys believe in ghosts?
No, I don't believe in any of that paranormal bullshit.
No?
Time, space, flux, vortex.
So you think that it's just somebody else in another universe?
Well, multiverse theory.
Yeah.
Interesting.
When I was little, I saw Signs and Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park, when it would be like, you know, like a sunny day, but there's like thunder off in the distance,
Yeah.
and it would be like, fuck, dinosaurs coming.
Yeah, see, the problem is I never saw any of those things till I was older.
Oh, yeah.
I was
Okay.
shielded from that when I was younger. The Matrix, when I first saw The Matrix, because that came out when we were pretty young.
8?
1998?
Jeepers
yeah,
Creepers
8 or 9.
was what got me.
And that one,
I could not stand near
Signs.
a cornfield.
When Signs, they had the aliens landed at the cornfield.
yeah,
So we have a cottage,
And they
and
piss
behind
in.
the cottage is a cornfield.
right.
So
that's
there'd be
a terrible combination.
And my back room was right, you know,
Yeah.
cornfield, some frickin' little trees, and then my room. So it was kind of like there'd be animals because it's a frickin' campground
Right.
crawling through the back, and it'd be like, goddamn fucking aliens out there! It scared the crap out of me.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I watched Jeepers Creepers way too young, and Jeepers Creepers 2 when it came out way too young.
Ruined you.
Yeah, like I remember I was out at a buddy's place, and he lived out in the country, and we had just watched it. And we watched it during daylight, and it was like a weekend sleepover, so it was a good time. And we went outside to build a snow fort, and he had a fence, and all the snow kind of piled up, and you could build like tunnels underneath. It was really cool, and we slept out there one night. It was bloody fucking cold, but excuse me. So we did that, and all I remember, while digging it out, I kept like looking up to the sky, being like, "Where the fuck is that thing?" So it was things like
Don't
that.
let your
They're foolish.
Kids
but
watch scary movies, or do, and they'll probably behave better.
Yeah, you can use it as scare tactics.
It was, I don't think there was anything else that, it was really just the aliens. I think I was told once that there was a witch in the forest, and then because he was at the cottage, and which is basically a campground again, scared that the witch in the forest was outside my window, but
I always had to have the curtains closed.
Yeah.
Always. Curtains closed, and
Close doors.
thank you.
it was Christmas morning one time, and it was like 5 a.m., and I swear to God I heard Santa, and he was like, in his like sleigh. It was probably just a plow going by, honestly, but when I was little, it sounded like frickin' Santa in
Right.
his sleigh, and then I was like, Jesus Christ, if I'm up, I'm not gonna get presents. So I like really wanted to go rush to the window, but at the same time I was like, no, I gotta be like lay down, like perfectly still. Did you ever get like sleep paralysis? Where you're like, you're awake, but you're not really awake?
Yep.
You can't move? That's scary.
That is kind of scary.
That's like
kinda
you're being held down and watched. Something's coming to get you. Fucking scary shit.
Yeah.
Speaking of scary shit, Guitar Hero. Live.
It is pretty scary. So
Yeah, they're doing another one.
yeah.
Thought we were done with this.
Well, after this, and it's very interesting. And why I wanted to talk about this is because I don't think it's going to be good.
You don't think often.
Well, I agree. Unless they do something drastic and good with it.
sorry, I got two.
I think it's been done.
Well, exactly. It's the fifth.
It depends what songs they have on it. If they have good songs, it's great.
Yeah, it kind of got
But-
further away from good songs. The first couple were really good.
I spent so many hours
Oh, I know.
Yes,
I remember.
on
You
those.
put Guitar Hero over your girlfriend, like, always.
Not always.
Yeah, at
You
that
really
point. Yeah, you did. You did. Guitar Hero was like your jam. There was nothing more important than Guitar Hero.
I would go to school, and then I would come home and I'd play Guitar Hero.
And then occasionally maybe C-Mel.
Yeah, but we were also like in grade 11 still.
Yeah, but that
So-
grade 11, that's probably like 2 years in.
No.
Oh, they started
Yeah.
dating November at the semi-formal
Right, when we made them.
in grade 10.
It was grade 11.
No, it was grade 10.
No, it was grade 11.
No, it would be grade 11 because I started dating Emily in grade 12 and you're a year ahead of us.
Okay.
I
So,
mean,
yeah.
you guys got married first and got a house a few months before us, but...
Yeah, but I mean,
If
it's
it was
not,
that-
it's
if
not
it
a
was
race.
that-
I'm just
if it
saying
was
that.
It's not a race, but we're gonna have kids first, damn it!
Alex is like, okay.
So far
okay.
out of the group of friends, we're the first to do everything.
First.
True. I'll be the last. I like to be, there's
Learn
that
from
bad
everyone
thing.
else's.
purchase curve. I just see everybody else failing and then I do it right.
Hey,
Neither of us have failed yet.
this is working out to be... You know,
Awesome. This is gonna be
the house
amazing.
2 doors down is for sale, and it's $70,000 more than this house.
Justin Bieber
Just
also
'cause
lives
Justin-
in it.
No, he didn't.
It was just his grand.
Yeah.
He had a room though. Somebody will
Well,
take
yeah,
that.
because his mom was freaking meth head who didn't have room for him in her house.
She lived in an apartment
Yeah.
that my dad managed.
So now she lives in now the grandparents live in the Hyde's old place. Like big ass house over in Hamburg. If you're ever going, I should look up the address. Everyone can start flocking there all the time.
Yeah, instead of over there. Don't go over there. No one's over there. Stop looking at it.
It's a big house. I mean, their friggin' like drive shed is bigger than your entire house.
Well, the drive shed's meant to hide their bus, right?
Yeah, it was to be. It was, yeah, well, there was the bus. There was there's the race cars. And
Do you think Justin Bieber's on here?
No, I don't think
Do you know what
it
songs
is.
are on here?
No, they haven't released anything.
how could Justin
All
Bieber be
that-
on here? There's no guitar or any instrument of any sort.
All that I know is that they
Be like White Stripes.
the reason why I don't think it's gonna work because it is for three things. Number one, Rock Band announced their 4th installment earlier this year, so I feel that Guitar Hero was obligated in order to stay relevant.
But neither of them have done anything in years. Why are they all
It's
of
a
a sudden?
it was a 5-year hiatus.
Are they have
Nothing.
like new controllers?
They do. That's the second thing. It won't work because it's a brand new controller.
Why won't it work for a brand new controller?
Because
New
not only do
system.
you have to buy the game,
Yeah.
which at
Buy
least
all
I
this
will.
shit for the game.
That's exactly it. You have to buy all the things again. Now, what I read is that the
But they're new
Game-
systems, so you have to buy new shit anyway.
true, but what
Unless you
happens
buy
if
the PS3 version, you know, get the PS3 stuff.
They won't release it. It's
Yeah.
not-
they're
When's it
releasing-
coming out?
They're releasing it for PS4, Xbox, PS3, Xbox One,
You
Bone.
could probably use
and they're
old
even.
controllers
They're no,
on the PlayStation 3.
No.
No.
no, because this game is having 6 tabs, 2 rows of 3.
Now, are they actually having like
They're not
I know,
color
like-
coordinated.
the
They're not.
The 3 on the bottom are the black keys, and the 3 on the top are white.
Interesting.
the Rock Band controllers? They like almost got into like actually having chords. And you can
This
play
one-
with the chords.
this one's just-
still tabs.
It's still tabs, but there's 3 tabs on the bottom, 3 tabs on the top. So they want it to be more realistic.
Oh,
Which
if you
I can
want
understand
realistic,
that.
get
Put it on
get
guitar.
Rockforge.
To be honest,
That's where you actually just plug your legitimate guitar into your. It's got a guitar into a USB and it goes into your computer or gaming system, and it brings it up and it's the songs and it's actually like. It's the chords and the fingering legit on your fretboard that you would play, and you actually learn how to play songs.
see, that would have been great if I would have put a third of the time
Into that.
into playing a real guitar or any instrument. I'd be a prodigy, as if I when I played Guitar Hero.
It's true. But
Yeah.
with this, it's
Did you win at Northwestern there for that?
no,
No.
because you're
My
damn controller, and then you're like, no, it's fine, I don't wanna,
Yeah, I don't wanna
because
start-
I had to go, because this motherfucker.
And you guys picked another
Wasn't it
good
Mark-
guy too,
wasn't it
right?
Mark Kierden's brother or something that won
No.
that?
No, because it was Jenny and I as the student council co-presidents. I had to go get somebody. She had to go get somebody. I already knew I was picking you because I already told you in advance.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, I need to know where you are. So you texted me.
And
you're in the back. Yeah, upstairs. So I gotta go all the way through people, all the way upstairs, and be like, you, come with me.
I had a good time, even though I didn't win.
Well, and then I thought, well, it's funny because the winner got 87%, and I was sure it was Alex.
Right.
And then the other guy was like at 60 some odd %. And then Alex is like, yeah, my controller wasn't on. Well, do you want to redo it?
No.
No, it's fine.
It was like the beginning, and like it
wasn't on.
Yeah, it was a really like a song. It was like Cliffs of Dover or something like that. Or all
what a great song.
All the points are really like at the very beginning. Yeah. And like my controller for like the first bit wasn't on, and I was like, nothing's. Flip it over and like the song's still going. The guy next door is just and she picked a fucking guy who was good too. Should have freaking picked like Melissa. Yeah.
But anyways, it's gonna be a brand new controller, so the game plus the controller's at least $100 right there.
Plus
right?
one, and then if you want to play with your friends,
that's right. So then it's another.
You gotta get the package.
$50 on whatever, right?
You're gonna spend like $300 for that.
But
People spend it though. I mean, what's Rock Band?
People will.
A Rock Band, you need to get all the same shit too.
It's true.
Yeah.
Plus you
and
need
people will
Oh,
spend
I'm
it.
not
So
saying that's
I
gonna
think,
be more successful either. I'm just saying that they're both.
I think that it's gonna be exactly. I think that it's just an exhausted.
They
It's
haven't
like
had it
doing
for a
ano-
while though.
Yeah.
Like they had a really long break. It could be.
It could be. Well, it's yet to be seen, but I think it's kind of like a Pirates of the Caribbean. It's like, gosh, this has been done.
Nostalgia.
So now the
Yeah,
one.
we'll see. You know, if it.
I'm not gonna play it.
No.
Okay, well, hang on. The
Aaron
one
should
thing is that it's actually that I think is kind of cool. Is that it's from a first-person point of view.
So you actually want like see guitar? Or
No,
you like looking?
so
at
you're looking out at the crowd, and they've apparently designed it where they filmed somehow, some way, whether they put GoPro cams on guitarists or whatever, actually live crowds, and their reactions are measured by your performance.
I don't really care about that because honestly, when you're playing Guitar Hero, you're busy looking at the buttons. So.
But it's just the backdrop. I don't know. So my question to you guys, before you answered, was would you buy it and would you play it?
I would play it. I wouldn't buy it.
Yeah, if someone had it, I'd probably give it a shot. Maybe if it blew my mind.
If there are really good songs on it.
Right.
Yeah.
To be honest, at this stage in my life, I'm not really gaming as much like.
The problem
I'm just
with
not
this-
doing it, and especially a console. If it's a console game, I don't. My PlayStation is a glorified Blu-ray and Netflix player. Like, I mean, I don't play consoles.
Yeah,
Almost
that's
never.
the thing. Like, if I want to play this, I'd have to get
Right.
the console and the game and the controller.
Right.
And at that point, you're just gonna be like, well, that money's just gonna be better.
If we all chipped in, and you guys wanted to come over, hell, I'd get it for the sake of having it, but it would have to be pretty good.
Yeah, I'd want to have they made a ton. They made like a full Beatles game.
Yeah, they did
made,
the
like,
Aerosmith
Metallica.
and Metallica.
I'd shoot myself if I had to do Aerosmith. I freaking hate Aerosmith. All their
Dude,
songs are the
Aerosmith,
song.
yeah,
the same.
it's overdone.
They're like, you got the first 30 seconds of the song, and then it's the same. And you just copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste. Yeah, I guess that's the same with most music.
Well, it's the same with all modern music now.
Yeah, I don't find Aerosmith as inspiring as some.
Metallica.
Not that they're necessarily
System of a
bad, they're just... Yeah, Metallica's much better than Aerosmith.
But frickin' on the radio, which sucks about the radio, cause just fucking listen to the radio, because my car doesn't have an auxiliary in. Fucking all they play is Sandman. Fucking, I don't want to listen to that all the time.
I want
I want the Master one.
Yeah, Master of Puppets.
The,
Or Nothing Else Matters, or
yeah.
Sad But True, or One, or Fuel.
yeah, just anything on like the one album
Yeah.
would be good.
Yes, Enter Sandman it's unfortunate that there gets to be that one, and then it just gets done until you, like, hate it.
Yeah, stop playing that one.
Right. Play one, but not
That
Enter
one.
Sandman.
Play them all.
Yes.
Put 'em all.
Just put the CD in and go.
Yeah. Or some Soundgarden. Or Audio Slave. That stuff's alright too.
Speaking of audio slaves.
Stop doing that.
Oh, wait. Aaron doesn't get a topic. There you go. What a great picture, by the way.
Thank you.
You wouldn't download a car?
No.
No, what is this? It's it's a pixelated
So,
photo.
this is
Aiding.
this is going to be an interesting conversation. I feel this. And
That says downloading.
I'm kind of glad you left this to the end.
Freaking looks like
It's not just the camera that makes it look like that.
No.
it's Aaron.
So,
The brunt of all jokes.
it's okay. I'm okay with it.
So anyway, spit it out.
Basically,
Today.
we
Hurry
found,
up.
I read that they're instituting in Australia a 3-strike rule when it comes to downloading illegal movies, songs, whatever.
That's fine. I stream it.
So I did a little bit of research, and there was a guy who I had my notes and I didn't bring them. I always write this shit down and then I forget it.
Of course.
So I had.
So your boss is gonna go into your work tomorrow and
Be
find
like,
like this little
"What
piece
the
of paper
hell?"
with like all
Exactly.
this note. The fuck's he doing in here all day?
Basically, there was a PhD student, or a PhD candidate as they call them, who was from Boston University,
Okay.
and he was fined $675,000
Holy shit!
for downloading 30 songs.
Wow.
The penalty was $22,500 a song. Now,
Why did they?
he appealed it, and they said no. You have to pay the full $675,000.
Jesus.
So now I did a little bit more research into it, and that has set a precedent. That the 3-strike rule led to.
So was that his third strike? Like, how'd that work?
This was prior to the 3-strike policy.
Okay.
Was this in Australia then?
No, this was in the U.S.
This
Sorry,
was in the US.
that was a terrible way to explain it.
flip-flopping your
But so
location.
this student, he downloaded thousands and thousands of songs. Why they only prosecuted him on 30, I don't know. Because he downloaded them,
Because at least they had to care a bit.
and then they,
Why don't they just prosecute him on one song? You're gonna ruin the kid's life either way.
well, exactly. So he downloaded thousands. But what I think he did that caused the problem is that he turned around and made them available to others.
That
So it's
is
distribution.
right. That is the usual. That is the usual rule of thumb that most downloading takes. As an avid, not downloader, it is the downloading of it itself isn't bad. It's leaving it there to be, because if you were to torrent and say you use uTorrent, you download your shit. When you leave it in uTorrent open, then it leaves a section, and then you're one of the seeders who is then allowing it to be downloaded again. So if you download it and get rid of it, you're pretty safe because, like, get rid of the torrent, not the actual file you downloaded. You're okay. Yeah, they're usually more like if you. It's like the difference between getting caught with a joint and selling the joint to somebody else, right? Getting caught with a joint really isn't. It's a slap on the wrist.
That's
Who
right,
gives
because
a
you're
shit?
fucking up your own life.
Right.
But when you start to fuck up other people's lives,
Right.
that's a problem.
So that's usually how it goes. If you're the one uploading it and providing the content, you're gonna be in that's the trouble.
Well,
Really?
and I think, my thing is that are the penalties, like, that was an extreme penalty, and they did it because they said it is incredibly hard to already prove that
Yeah, it's impossible.
people are downloading this and able to catch who these individuals are.
I don't know why they try. I actually don't even know how they got that guy, and he's still got. How are they supposed to know? Besides, I mean, if they got probable cause and got a warrant and searched your computer,
And that's
But
what they must have
otherwise,
done.
an
but then-
IP address can be if you just run a proxy, like if you were to run a simple proxy while you downloaded shit and ran it through your internet, then your IP address could be anywhere. How are they supposed to know who's actually doing it?
What's the difference between, like, you have the song you downloaded from your computer and the song you bought on the computer?
Off
It's still on your computer, right?
Right. Yeah, how are they really supposed to know whether you purchased it?
Unless
Because
there's a way.
receipts
And again, I'm not a tech wizard under any circumstances.
No,
unless
I mean,
you can look at the source.
it'd still be hard to prove.
You can take it off a CD and put it on your computer,
Right,
and that's legal.
That leads to my problem with it. Not that I fully condone. I'm one, especially like games. If I download a game and I really like a game, then buy the game.
If you really like the artist, you're gonna go to their concert.
Right.
They fucking make a ton of money anyway.
Right. That's what Dave Grohl of Foo Fighters, like, that's his main thing. He's like, I don't care. I mean, it'd be nice if you bought our music, but more than likely, if you know, he realizes some people can't. Maybe you can't afford to pay $20 for a CD.
Fucking
So
$8 a song.
Right.
on
So
iTunes.
he's like, fine. If you need to, download it. Because the people, if they download it and it gets out there, people are going to pass it around. People are going to see it. More people see it. More people like it. More people come to your shows.
Well, and I think, see,
Exactly.
my alternative to that is, I think that there has to be the penalty there, if for distribution. If you're downloading it for yourself, fine.
What? No.
But
okay, but get this. My thing goes. What about back in the day? You recorded a show to VHS, and then you gave that show to your friend to watch, or you got the CD and then you burned the CD to give to somebody else. That's not considered illegal.
no, but with today's day and age, you can't. Back then, you couldn't do it on a mass distribution scale. Now you
Right,
can
and I
do
guess
it
that
on
is the
mass.
difference now, but really it's the same thing. When you
Right.
trail it back, every song that you download, someone bought it. They've gotten money somewhere. If you watch a movie, unless it was, well, even if it was videotaped in the place, that person paid to get in, which royalties make it back. Everything that you
But
download
then
and
if
get
you do it that way,
content-wise has
then
been
it's,
paid for.
You get one paid admission versus, let's say, 100 paid admissions.
There was, I think for Jupiter Rising or Jupiter
You were
Ascending,
attending.
there was a guy who did that, and he had a similar charge because like hundreds of thousands of people watched his online.
Right, rather than potentially
Yeah,
going. Although it
so-
could have been us who liked it and then watched. I mean, not that we did. I didn't. Anyway, but as an example, it could be people who just wanted to watch it again.
Yeah.
But and again, my thing is that where do you draw the line? Because inevitably, and I realize that these companies and these producers and all that make millions and millions and millions of dollars by making movies.
I think
and doing
music
that.
is the hardest hit. Music, I feel less good about downloading because I know that the struggle. I mean, some of your big people are making it huge, but
Absolutely.
legit musicians, they work hard, and a lot of times they won't ever.
They don't amount because people. It's just so easy
Right.
that you can just circumvent
But
the
at the
rules.
same time, those little people, they need the publicity more than anyone.
Right, and sometimes it's good to get it out that way, but still, supporting
But otherwise,
music
it's
is
just going to
different.
be you're just going to get that all the time.
Right.
Where it's not going to be able.
When it
even
comes
though
to-
it's out there, people
Right.
are just going to find another way to download it online.
When it
without
comes
having
to
pay for it.
right, when it comes to movies, like Furious 7, I'll have no problem downloading that. They made like $800 million
So far, yeah.
already.
Yeah.
It's like I'm pretty sure
yeah,
they're
something
doing
like that.
fine.
Something like that.
I'm not
that's-
gonna miss my DVDs there.
No, but at the same time, there are going to be, by doing that, it does limit the market.
What's the
To the
difference
bigger-
between like renting? Like, if you went to the movie store, you rented it.
That's
See, what
true.
I think is
For
that
$3.
Do they have to
Video Plus would probably have to buy the movies.
They buy every they buy every copy of that movie.
That's right.
Right.
And then, so the company said because they just sold 20 sets of that movie to the rental store.
Right.
Right.
And then let's say each rental
But it's going to
cost
get
$10.
120 rents.
Right.
But
Each
that's
movie.
for the company. That's not for Universal. That'll
Yeah.
be for Video Plus.
Yeah.
But still, there must be some
It's-
clause because they are people are getting enjoyment watching a movie that they won't
They must.
get.
That
they
they
either
should
have
have
to
There must be
buy.
there must be some form of a royalty clause built into the profits
Maybe.
made per movie. Because otherwise, I could see your point. Because they buy 20 copies of the movie, but
Unless-
200 people decide to rent it. Well,
Unless
they're
they
out.
waive it and it's at a premium cost.
Right, maybe they base it off potential sales, or maybe it is higher. I don't know.
What about books?
What about books?
You go to the library, you get it for free.
Yeah.
But that's different. It's
Oh, the author still needs money. Right?
true, but
Libraries must.
a library is a opportunity to.
So is distributing your music for free online.
right?
And
Yes
this is
and
the
no.
hard. There's so many gray area and loopholes and different thought patterns. You could take it any way you want.
You could. My thing is that at the end of the day, if we allow it to keep growing, because the internet's just developing more and more and more.
Yeah.
You know, even 10 years ago,
But I think
5 years ago, it wasn't near as prominent as it is now.
I disagree. I think it's the opposite.
I think it was a lot better.
I
5
think in
years
the
ago.
it's become so much harder to
LimeWire?
Right, when it was LimeWire and you just go search a song and download it. Now, if you really want to download stuff, you have to torrent it, and torrenting it is you have to really be into. Like, you really have to. Not that you have to know, but it's not as user friendly. It's not as universal.
Where you just type in a name, you find a song with plenty of like hits and good rating, and then you just download it. And
Right, now, torrent, it's hard to download individual songs. You'll be downloading albums or... It's, I find that myself, it's not like it used to be.
you know what
I think
it
in
is?
the 90s and the early thousands, I think downloading was... Everyone did it.
And that's the way it should be, because you know who they're screwing over, really? They're not screwing over the big corporations or anything like that when you download. They're screwing over the middle class. They're
Right.
fucking us over.
Right.
You gotta pay $20 to listen to a song, and you can't get it for free. We pay for that. They're making tons of money anyway.
Yeah. Oh,
Fucking
exactly.
their commercials and
I could see if
concerts.
they were suing for artistic reasons or something, but they're not. It's just greedy people wanting more of their greedy money.
Freaking Taylor Swift is like trying to copyright like certain words that are in her song that like you could use on a daily basis, and
Right.
she's like, no, you can't say that anymore. Party like 1999 because that's my words. They're my words. You can't use my
Prince did it
words.
first. But yeah, no,
Screw us over. God
Like
damn.
there's
big
there's
government.
and I think
fucking
streaming
greedy corporations.
and stuff has changed it too, because now you can stream and watch movies legally, and even YouTube. You can watch full movies on YouTube for like $4. You pay $4, you can watch the movie on your computer.
We need a massive overhaul. Get rid of
Right,
those
like, I
greedy
think-
fuckers.
I think the payment method of before, at the beginning, when movies were being downloaded, there wasn't the online medium to really be able to do it, to stream and to buy music. It was
Right.
It was CDs, iTunes and all the other mediums for getting that information wasn't there, so people downloaded. Nowadays, to be honest, it's easy. It's easier to just buy it. The work that you go through to not pay for it is probably not worth just going to spend a few bucks to get.
I don't
get it.
know. I mean, we have the Genesis Android box,
Right.
an iStream,
Right.
and it's really easy to use.
Right.
I mean, you basically get the program and type your show, and
Right, but
There
they're
it is.
coming from streaming web. That's my thing. I don't think yours is necessary. It's interesting how that works, because I don't think those shows, I don't think you're necessarily watching them legitimately.
no, you definitely are. It's
I
like
don't
on
think
like GorillaVid and all those other.
Right, and like Putlock, that's not,
Sure, it is.
sure.
Sure
Anyway,
it is.
it's different than, I
They would-
like the idea that it scours for like the places that stream it and then it just plays it, but those streaming sites aren't necessarily legal. Precisely.
They get taken down, sure, but
Right.
that's
There's reasons for
not
that.
on my end.
I'm not saying I'm against it. To be honest, I'm all for it. I don't care.
That's
I'm
the way
just,
it should be. Everything should be free.
well, the internet it was supposed to be, that's how it was originally designed, was for the mass sharing of knowledge, that everyone had equal opportunity to have access to all the same stuff.
And what did they do?
Exploit it.
They fucked us.
Oh yeah.
In the ass without lube.
That's the way you like it.
Yeah, with a pitchfork.
So, I don't know. To me, it's an interesting discussion because there are two sides to it. There's the side, now and I don't want to come across as I'm agreeing with the large corporations, I'm not. I understand that, we should have access to it. But there has to be a line because inevitably it does limit the production. If it gets to a point, if it grows, it'll get to a point where they just don't make money on it.
It has been the downfall of the music industry. Little people, before you brought out a record and stuff, you played a few shows, you had the disc
You were
there,
throwing
people-
the CDs at everybody just to try and get word of mouth, which can still work in an online
Right.
source, but
It just doesn't. People don't. Unfortunately, back in the day, you would go to the record store, you would browse, and you would buy, you'd buy a record. I think the problem is that we've gotten the mentality these days that music's free. It's never been like that before until now, right? Our mentality in our head now is that why pay when we can get it for free, which is fine, but we've never been like, you know, before you would go out and you would browse your CDs and browse your records and you would, you know, pick one, you'd take it home and you'd listen to
But
it.
before that, you'd go walk outside and there'd be some guy with a frickin' guitar. He'd be standing on a corner and, you know, playing his guitar on the corner, and, you know, someone would throw him a loonie or something like that. And
Yeah, well, that's busking still happens.
that's
All I'm
where it
saying
came
is the,
from.
Only in our city, though.
right. All I'm saying is the mentality of free music is relatively new. You know, we've just gotten accustomed to that. Whereas really, I'm for both. I know.
I think they make a ton of money.
I think the
big ones make a ton
Right.
of money,
I
but
think
it does
so too.
eliminate the creativity for the small.
Right, that's why we only get shit that's all the same, is because there's a
Well,
formula that
any
makes
new-
money and then they just do
That's
that.
right. Any new
Well, that's-
band that comes out that's
Right.
Not
new
the band's
music.
fault. That's the frickin' dumb people who listen to the, like,
Oh, it's
Cool
us.
105.3
It's consumer-
FM,
it's
whatever it
consumer
is. That is the worst radio station ever. They make me want to go there and
105.3?
murder them. 105.3 Cool FM?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to murder them when I hear that radio station. When I even hear an ad for the radio station, I'm like, you guys frickin' play the worst goddamn music. You shouldn't be subjecting people to that shit. It should be against the
It's
law.
not even
Yeah.
music.
I don't know. It's
But
just I don't know.
people love it.
It's not the same.
The
You have to
station's
have money.
popular. It's been like that for years.
Right.
Now they did
People
change.
don't scout the same anymore either. You know, it used to be like, I don't know, like big bands. They were in a garage. They played a few sleazy pubs, and then people find, you know, and then all of a sudden there's people there. People scouring for talent. No one wants that. No one wants
People want
extra
convenience.
talent. Right. People want. It's almost like you got to be. You know, you have to have the money to become the musician. You know, you can't just have the talent.
Yeah, that's true.
Most people don't have the talent. You just have to have the funds to put up to pay for.
I think-
Or you have
that's-
to be marketable.
I think
That's
the
where
thing
this
is,
guy got it.
everyone has the talent. Because there's so many people, and like picking up a guitar, anyone can learn to pick up and play a guitar, no problem. People can sing, no problem. It's just, you know.
Yeah, but there's
people just
discernible
got
things
more
that bring
money.
those things together.
Yeah.
And it's the fact that it's marketability.
Right.
And
No one's willing to take the risks anymore. And I think that's a lot of it becomes that I don't think the money, that it's not the same that it once was.
can I raise a third point?
Sure. why
Not necessarily for this, but a new topic
Sure.
that I have a bit of an argument about. So, bonus material here.
Oh.
The bonus round! Ding, ding,
Bonus
ding, ding,
round.
ding, 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 ding.
There is a very big argument going on down in Missouri.
How big?
Missouri.
It's a statewide type of argument that it's.
Oh, like this big?
It's yes, it's bigger than your.
Is it that sex with your sister isn't actually good for you?
No, not
Oh.
that one. That one was resolved
Is it good
last week.
for you?
I don't know.
What have you been doing with her? No, a set of parents. The father is an engineer. The mother is a nurse. Well educated, respected, middle class, if not middle upper class family.
Heard this on Yahoo. I know where you're going.
Yeah. They
I
have.
gotta start. I guess
they have-
yeah.
They have
You.
two. Meanwhile, Curtis finds a porn site. They have a 10 and a 6-year-old daughter.
Sure.
What grade are you in? Grade 10.
No, when you're 10.
What grade are you in when you're 10?
There you go. That's better. You're in grade 5.
Five?
5.
Okay.
So there is a 10-year-old and a 6-year-old
Sure.
that the parents allowed to walk from their house to the park.
How far was that?
I don't recall, but I don't think it's more than 4 city blocks.
How big is the city block?
Half a mile.
I mean,
Not
even that big.
Not even that big.
oh, it depends. Like, you go to Toronto, you're walking a city block, you're walking for
But
an hour.
this is a small
That's
town.
not true.
This is a small town in Missouri.
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 Okay.
But
so, and what's the deal?
the
They're
problem
in
is
trouble
that-
over this.
The kids have now been brought back to the parents twice by police. By other other people and other parents saying it is grossly irresponsible to allow your children to walk to the park by themselves.
What's happened with the world?
I think the
Not that we
6-year-old's a
necessarily-
little too young.
But you have the 10-year-old there.
But yeah, but I
look
wouldn't
after 'em.
trust the 10-year-old to watch out. Like, if
But they're
But if
just,
you're in a
my
small
sister
community
and
that
I
maybe
were,
you know,
but they're just walking to the park.
my sister and I were about that age difference, and I wouldn't be able to. I mean, I could go to the park with my friends. Like, if there was a group of us, we could go to the park. But to go with my sister by myself to the park, that might be a little different.
I don't know.
So-
I guess it all gets more and more intense as the 8 days go on. But for us, it wasn't that. It was not. But you know, like our parents, they would just disappear and then come back when sun came down, and their parents didn't care. It's just how it was. No one cared.
I think
Life.
today we live in a society of fear that everybody's like, oh my god,
Terrorists.
terrorism or child kidnapping
Yeah,
and
get out
rape
your
and
tinfoil hat.
all this
Oh
thing.
yeah,
But it's
everyone
the
we're
fact
so
that-
sensitive to
But
stupid
it's
shit.
because we hear everything from the corner of the world. Before, you know, you heard about your
From
little.
down the street.
That's right. You heard from your little hubbub. And
Right.
kids could go do whatever the fuck they wanted. My dad talks about some of the stupid shit he did, and his mother never knew where he was.
Right.
My dad turned out to be
Right.
perfectly fine.
Right.
Maybe insane,
Yeah,
but
but now
perfectly
you're
fine.
not allowed to go do whatever you want.
And I'm not fucking allowed to go do whatever I want. But it's because we live in a reality of fear, and a
Yeah,
society of
it's-
fear because that's what sells.
Right. It's funny how, in a lot of ways, we're desensitized, but in so many ways,
We're even more
the whole
sensitive.
right. It's become so everything's got to be PC and correct, and everyone's all worried about
Not offending anybody. There's
Right,
that
and then it's
Montreal
all
thing.
Even
Don't
if you're
be-
you're like a comedian, you can't tell like jokes.
right.
Well, and then there's
Like-
yet on the other end. Sorry to interrupt. The other
That's
end of the
fine, I don't
spectrum, you have in Quebec a group of Muslims protesting that they ban all pork from all schools in Quebec because they're Muslim,
And they don't
and
like
it
pork.
and it's against
Oh,
their
don't
religion.
fucking eat
Just
pork.
don't eat it.
Exactly, and the premier of the school board is now in huge water because he sent a letter back to them.
Saying don't eat the fucking pork then.
That's exactly it, saying you came here,
Yeah.
you moved here, you
Right.
have to adopt our laws.
Right. Just
And then it's
just-
entirely right because otherwise you just sacrifice
I agree.
I love pork.
bacon.
Pork's good. Gotta love the swine. But I have nothing against, if people want to practice their religion still, fine. But there's got to be a limit. Like taking pork out of, like it's just, who even has the nerve to ask a stupid question like that?
Like
Squeaky wheel gets the grease though.
Sorry?
Squeaky wheel gets the grease. You complain, you
then
get what
it's-
you want.
but it's true.
I
But
gotcha.
then what happens if we went over to Qatar or Iraq or
You'd be
Iran?
beheaded.
Exactly. We have to abide
Right.
their rules when we're over there. But
That's
then they
because
come
we're
over.
right. That's because they're not. We're civilized.
But what's civilized?
That
What's
we make
civilized?
that we
So
make
we make-
abeyance for every single
That's-
thing that
yeah,
happens.
so then what
we're just
are
a bunch
we? We're
of
just-
pussy whipped.
Yeah.
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 I 100% agree. It's a load of bull.
But sorry, that was a discretion going back to the kids in the park. Sorry.
Yeah, and it's like beat your kids. What's wrong with a good spanking every once in a while?
Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
Well, except for the fact that like the
I mean,
law
as long
says
as
you can't do it
No,
anymore.
you can. You can.
You can,
Just can't
but
with the
it's-
strap or the whip. And
Yeah.
and there's the fine line. Like
Yeah.
when I dated Rachel, there was the argument that we had that said, do you spank kids because she worked with children all day?
She shouldn't be able to because
No,
she's
shouldn't
a-
care.
no,
Parents.
no, and that's not what I'm saying. Is that I'm meant when she has her own children. What are her beliefs? She says absolutely not.
Really?
Under any circumstances,
Under
no.
any?
Were you guys beat?
I was spanked.
I was
Like, if I
spanked.
lied,
Well, that's
Then yes.
okay. Obviously, don't hit your kids. You don't want them turning out like these fucks.
You weren't ever spanked?
I don't think so. I mean, I was pretty good.
Oh,
maybe
that's
once.
harsh.
Maybe once.
I mean, mine wasn't
your mother
like.
looked at you and spanked.
She's just like the look and the spanks come out of her. She's got like spanking
But,
laser
like,
eyes.
I mean, I wasn't like I was hit, but my thing is, what is there to reprimand kids then? You get kids these days. I worked in day camp and stuff, and kids are snotty brats because
You
you're not
can't
even supposed to
discipline
put them in timeout because that reinforces negative behavior.
How's the two line?
Because I don't know, because they're getting attention and stuff for
No,
things.
they're not. They're going away from the attention.
Anyway,
Not
what
being part of
I'm
the
saying is
activity.
they don't even encourage that. You're supposed to just sit down. You're supposed to
Talk
talk to them, explain to
Like,
them
don't
why
be
it
a
was
fucking
wrong,
pussy.
and then make sure that when they
Well,
do
you have
something
to tell
good,
them what's wrong.
right? No,
You'd be
Well,
like,
yes, you have to say there has to be the punishment. There has to be
there's
the
no-
reason for the punishment.
Right, and how many times can you take away the Xbox or whatever? It's like, fuck, the kid doesn't even, before you know it, there's nothing. The parents these days don't have any leverage over their kids. What can you do?
And as soon as they're reported to CAS, it's like, well, they're fucking on you like a...
Yeah, but that's
Right.
okay because if my kids want to call CAS, that's fine.
Yeah.
Then I don't have to
They'll
look after
learn.
them. They can go live with
But
someone else.
that's what I think. A good spank. I mean, not that it enforces. I just think then you fucking break something or you do something wrong, you get a spanking, and then you know that fucking sucks, and you don't want to do it.
That's
ever
right.
again.
Sometimes the fear, though, of getting in trouble is worse than the actual punishment.
That's right. And then you're like, you know what? This isn't worth it anymore, guys.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Sure.
Like, if they're like, what happened to this? And you're like, oh shit, that was me. And they're like, did you do this? And you're like, no. And they're like, are you sure you didn't do this? And you're like, okay, yeah, fine, I did it. Sorry. Jesus
If our
Christ.
kid did something like that, that's different.
And see, for me, the biggest thing that I got in trouble for was lying. Now,
get
as a
hit for
result, I got spanked.
What'd you lie about?
I lied about brushing my teeth on 2
And you got
occasions.
spanked for it?
And I remember.
Jesus Christ.
I remember.
Yeah, but
But
then
it's-
you don't break. You don't fucking.
Did
do
you
that
brush your
again.
teeth?
What? I
You
brush
bru-
my teeth every fucking day
And it's
now.
nice, you get a few spankings under you, and then your dad just has to do the come here, and you know what's coming, and
Mare.
and that's punishment already.
That's right. Yeah,
Right.
that walk is
Right.
a fucking green
Right.
mile right
Exactly. And then and then.
I think that's extreme. You get spanked for lying about
Yeah,
brushing.
I don't know about that. Mine was more fighting with my brother or something stupid.
Yeah, like I see, like you're like,
But it
hey,
wasn't-
Kyle,
it wasn't-
come here.
but it
Boom,
wasn't
down
the
the flight
fact-
of stairs. Then you should get hit.
But
Right.
it wasn't. It wasn't for not brushing my teeth. It was for the fact that I lied to my parents about brushing my teeth.
Yeah, I know, but that still seems
Yeah.
extreme. Like, I
know.
mean, if you're like freaking throwing your brother down a flight of stairs, or
I never did that, but yeah, I don't know. My stance is I have nothing again. I obviously don't abuse it, but you have to have some form of. I mean, I guess it sounds bad that your only leverage is to hit your kids, but
I think it should be a last
Yes.
straw. And I
Right.
don't think like getting caught lying to your parents about brushing your teeth.
I don't remember
that-
if there was something else that went on that day, but I just remember. So I
yeah.
brushed my teeth like a
and
boss
I mean,
now.
you don't have to do it to your kids' asses, right? You have to.
you don't want to.
It's just a way of enforcing your rule.
I used to like totally
Kings-
bail from my mom in the parking lot when I was little, because like that's a really safe place to like just say fuck you, man! There's cars driving everywhere.
Right, I get my ass smacked for that.
Yeah, I did. I think one time.
Okay, good.
She was like, "You can't fucking do that." And I don't know if it worked, but
Alex still goes.
through the
That's
parking
silly,
lot.
dude. I've seen it.
But yeah, like to digressing even further back to the original, I think that it's the fact that we, if it was across from here to my house, is a far walk for a
Yeah.
little kid to go to a park.
Yeah.
That would be too far.
What
But
about the park down the street there?
fine,
I have nothing against that.
But like a 6-year-old?
that's Ty's age, and on
I
their
wouldn't
own,
trust him to
on
go
their-
around the block by himself.
on no, but what I'm saying, on their own, no. But with a 10-year-old, like Lily's 11 now, having her take Ty, fine.
I don't know. I wouldn't trust Lily to go
I think-
around the block by
I
herself.
don't know.
then it's-
I think the
but
thing.
it's
I think
like
age
Baby
is
Cheyenne.
less. I think you gotta wait. You gotta gauge. Not every 11-year-old and 10-year-old is the
Right.
same either. There's that level of responsibility.
I think
Right.
if there was
There's
a,
maturity
more of
there.
a group too. But then the fuckers go and slash my tires. Fuck you. You know who you are! Probably
But-
not, because you're not watching, but...
But the thing is that there's, and you see both sides, because you're like, if it was my kids, and, I would rather just go with them, right? Because we exist in a hover over society. We need to watch and make
Yeah,
sure that
watch
everything's
everything.
okay.
Yep.
Because we're so used to knowing everything.
Right.
The unknown absolutely terrifies us, because if you want to know something, Google.
Yeah, we've got access
Right.
to anything.
Whereas before, uncertainty was, back in the day, during the
Says
first...
it's like he's a frickin' old man.
Which was a
Back
Wednesday.
in the
Sorry.
day.
But going back in time, during the World Wars, you didn't know if you were going to live through the day. So
Well,
I think
mean,
that...
it depends where you live during that. I'm pretty sure people
Okay, but-
over
but
North
I mean,
America were fine.
Pretty fine.
But Britain and Germany and those types of cultures, you know, and the soldiers that served there. And one big thing that my grandfather was adamant about was, you know, you live your life because you don't know what's coming.
Yep.
And that's that.
If your kids die, you make another one.
Well, and the unknown just isn't terrifying to them.
Right.
What was terrifying was, you know, I don't know, because death was just on everybody's doorstep over there. So that was a cultural thing, but now it swung, the pendulum swung all the way over to the other side.
We are a highly protective society.
The problem with that is that was the second time those parents got caught and got in shit.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're not that smart. They got caught. They did it once. Shame on you. You did it once. Twice, shame on me, right?
But they just, what they said, like their press release said, we feel that our girls are mature enough.
Yeah,
Like,
but
look at the crime rate in the city.
What?
It is incredibly low. We chose this town for a reason.
Right.
And
Look at. I think
we feel that our
But this-
girls are
how
responsible
is
to
it
make
the
that
other
walk.
parents' jobs to parent the other people's kids? If those parents feel like their kids are responsible enough to do it, then they can go do it.
That's
No,
right.
but they're like, they got in shit. Like, you let your dog crap on someone's lawn, and the person comes out and says, "What the fuck are you doing? Your dog crapped on my lawn."
Sorry about that.
And
And
then-
it won't happen again.
Yeah,
Right,
and then
well,
the
if
next
the
day you
kids
let
go-
your dog crap on the lawn. And they're like, "What the fuck? I just said don't let your dog crap on my lawn."
Right. Well, this is a little bit different. The kids haven't necessarily done anything wrong. You're punishing them for nothing.
Well,
That's
they're
right.
not. It's the parents who are getting punished, not the
Well, the
kids.
parents
Well,
are
I
getting
mean,
in
but you're
shit.
punishing the parents for nothing. You're calling them irresponsible. If they feel that they're, who are they to say who's the irresponsible one?
And then,
You
of
can
course,
judge
the police come in, and that's right.
And
It's
why are
it's
police, like-
third? It's a third party coming in and dictating how it should
Right. I think it's bullshit. If the parents want to do that, then fine. And if the
Yeah.
kid shits on someone's lawn, well then take it back to the parents. That's when you call the fucking cops and get the kids taken home.
be. If the kids are doing something, that's right.
Right,
Or
if the kids have done
you
nothing wrong, if they're
witness-
going swinging on the swings and then they walk home, then who fucking cares? They've done
That's
nothing
right.
wrong.
That's right. They had a good time, and they're growing to be. And the parents have said they're trying to teach their kids to be
Independence.
raised and independent, like teach them independence.
Right, we're all very coddled and very unindependent.
Oh, absolutely. Like, for example, my trip, I want to go to Croatia, Italy, and Greece. My trip last year to England and Scotland, my parents, especially my father, who's very overbearing, you know, love him to bits, but he is. And they had a lot of kind of, what's the word I'm looking for, reasons, that's not the right word, but reasons why I shouldn't go. Or
There's always reasons not to go.
Yeah,
yeah,
they
saying,
can-
oh, well, you know, don't go on your own, like, make sure you're with somebody.
just
but-
fucking go.
Everyone that you talk to that goes and travels on their own has the best time of their life.
Right.
And I did have the best time of my life when I was on my own, which was fine.
Oh, well,
did-
then get
we
the
did
fuck
go.
out. You're not having a good
Nice.
time right now?
Yeah, just say fuck you, Dad. I'm going anyway.
That's more or less what happened. But it just comes down to the fact that you're entirely right. You get coddled and
Right, we
you're spoiled and
Right, it comes all the way down to consolation prizes, and everyone gets a prize.
Everybody's
And
a winner.
don't keep score. It's like fuck that shit. Keep score. If your kid loses, that'll teach them not to lose the next time.
Yeah,
That,
make them try
or-
harder.
Right.
Or on the flip
Otherwise,
side,
they
you
don't
know
have any
what?
motivation to not lose. They'll go, oh well, we lost. That sucks.
Oh, but we had fun.
Yeah, well, fuck that. If you lose, you shouldn't have fun. You fucking lost.
That's right.
Go home, beat your kid for not winning, and then he'll do better the next time.
harder.
That's right.
Don't actually beat your kid for not winning. But anyway, I think
Beat your kid for not brushing his
they're
teeth.
all trying to like teach, you know, fair and uncompetitive. Well, life's competitive. You want a job, you gotta fucking
That's
do
right.
it.
If 10 people apply for the same job,
right.
Yeah.
You're,
beat those 10.
one person.
right. You get that one person that was raised to not keep score. Well, they're not gonna fucking get anything good.
Oh, sorry. You go. You get
Yeah.
the job. I feel sorry for you.
Yeah, fucking go in there and take it. You gotta teach. You don't have to be like extreme. Beat your kid because
No.
they didn't win, but
Or brush your teeth.
right.
Hatred.
But you know, keep score. Your kid loses. That's a life lesson because you're gonna lose a lot in life.
That's right. And you have to be able to deal with it because there are people out there who don't know how to handle losing
Right.
or disappointment and that. And you see that.
Oh yeah, you see
when-
that. Those spoiled brats who don't know how to deal with anything in life.
Yeah. I didn't get my way, Mom. We all knew somebody in our public school that was the perfect epitome of that
Or knew somebody, not in public school, just in life in general.
in life. Who's yours?
I don't think she's watching, but
No, she
we all
probably
know.
isn't.
We all know who she is.
Anyway, so that's my. That was a good one.
That was a very good one.
I
I just thought of that and I realized, you know what, that would have been a much better topic than either of my other ones.
Yeah, I'm just saying, if the parents are already getting in shit once, I mean, you probably should.
But then they're just ignoring it because, and
bullshit.
I applaud them. I applaud them for doing it again.
Tip of your hat.
I tip my hat. If I had a hat, I would tip it to them because, you know what? Fuck what anybody else is saying. Do what the fuck you want.
My kids want to go
Raise your
park.
kids how the fuck you want, and that's it. It's not a hard concept. If you don't like it, then don't let your kids do it.
Right.
But if somebody else wants to raise, you don't have to parent their children. Now, yes, if you see them, being kidnapped in a strange van with no windows, maybe it's time to call the cops. But
Right. No, they
Before
go
that-
and they beat up a couple other kids or do something stupid.
that's right. As soon as they're, doing something that's negative to others, but if they're not hurting anybody, let them do what the fuck they want.
I don't know.
When you have kids, I'm gonna go and play this video.
Fine. It will be, of course, it will be different, but I hope that you do because I think parents need a wake-up call and a reality check to say, you know what, you're right.
No, you'll be like, oh, I was so naive back then. I didn't know anything.
Probably.
Children are so important.
Precious.
But all three of us have kids, and we all agree, and I think
Wait. You have kids?
all three of us don't have children, sorry, and we all agree on this topic. So
I don't necessarily, pardon me, agree
Yeah,
per
sorry.
se. I think the 6-year-old is a little too young to be left in charge of the 10-year-old? Whatever. Vice versa. The 11-year-old's shouldn't be in charge of the 6-year-old.
But all they're doing is they're going to a park a couple blocks away,
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
and it teaches because maybe that
if there was a
10-year-old,
bunch of 11-year-olds going to the park, that might be okay. But I don't think the 6-year-old should be going there. Even with because I beat the shit out of my sister a lot, like more than I should have. But and it didn't
apparently
do her
not
any
as
good.
much as you should have.
Yeah, not as much as I should have. But like I don't know, if their relationship as kids was anything like mine. With my sister, I mean,
But that's where
my
you have
sister
to
wouldn't
gauge
be
it.
coming back from the park,
But that's,
or she'd be coming
Right.
back.
that's where you have to gauge it,
Right.
Yeah,
right? And
I think if they've put the trust in their children, then they know. They know.
that's right. Nobody knows
If they
their
didn't
kids
trust
like
their
they do.
kids to be able to do it, then they wouldn't have done it. I can guarantee it.
I just think 6 is really young,
And it depends.
Well,
Like, I'm not
I
saying-
can get that.
But it depends. Maybe the 10-year-old is working on being a babysitter.
Yeah, because
Right?
12, that's coming up.
And who better to work with than your sister, who you know inside and out? And
I don't think the 11 or 10-year-old should be in charge of the 6-year-old, and I don't think the 6-year-old should be out, unless it's like.
but it was broad daylight both times in the afternoon.
Yeah, but I mean, kids go disappearing in broad daylight all the time.
But again,
But-
how many
but
kids
if-
go disappearing?
But if we
A
go
ton.
along this
it
same,
only takes one.
if you go along the same line, what about walking to school? That's probably further than the park.
I mean, the 11-year-old could probably walk to school on their own, but the 6-year-old, I don't think.
What age did you start walking to school?
I was 10. Walked to school by myself. And even it wasn't by myself. I walked with my designated walking buddy to and from school every day, and we were
But
friends.
fun, right?
And we were both the same age, and sometimes there'd be more or less of us. But my sister, she never walked to school, ever.
But again, it comes down and you see the result between yourself and her.
Yeah, I
Right.
guess, but I'm just like, I don't think I could.
Right, so you think if you had a 10-year-old kid in like a kindergarten or grade
Yeah,
1,
like-
or you wouldn't let your 10-year-old kid walk to school with your...
I had to pick my sister up a few times, and we had like the same age difference, and I was the 10 and she was the 5 or 11 and 6, and it was honestly the worst. And
But it's
Yeah,
different.
but that's
for
just a
brother or
relationship.
sister.
That's not a responsibility thing. That's...
no, it was a responsibility. I had to go pick her up and walk back with her. It was like my
Right, but if you don't-
responsibility. And
Right, but I mean, you could have easily, you did and could have easily made a safe trip to and from school.
yeah, but we
Right.
were only 1 block away from her school too.
True,
Right,
but
but
then what
still,
if it
in
was-
the same lines, you're walking probably just as far as the park, if not further. You
If
get
somebody
to
wanted
school
to
and come
kidnap
back.
you, there's a whole city block to do it in.
Yeah, I guess.
The same things can happen in the 1 as compared to the 4.
I don't know. And there's a bunch of kids at the park just down the street all the time, but I don't think any of them are there by themselves, like 6. And that's the thing. Like even if they were with the 11-year-old, I would say that they're really kind of by themselves. The 11-year-old doesn't really.
But maybe
It
they have a
depends,
great working relationship.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess
maybe
you do
they,
have to know
maybe
your
they
kid,
hold
but-
hands and walk back and forth.
Maybe
hang
they're the
out,
best of
lovey-dovey friends.
Because I know,
brother,
like
sister.
Lily and Cheyenne, they don't get along.
Yeah,
They don't get along at all.
and they don't really get along well with Ty either.
No, like they're 3
That's how
totally
most kids
different.
are.
They're 3 totally different units. But then you have, let's say, Evan and Noah, who down the road are going to be, let's say, when Evan's 10, Noah will be 8. They'll be fine. I
You
think.
don't know that.
Again, let's say if they are fine.
Right.
If they're fine, fine.
11 and or 10 and 8, sure.
So that 2 years makes a
2
big
years.
difference.
2 years makes a big difference. 2 years is a great. I mean, even the
Especially
difference,
that age.
like when they were born. Like if one was like, if it was like a late birthday, like November, that's pretty much like a year to like being mature. And they say that like when if you're born sooner in the year, it pays off for you long term.
They do, and in my economics classes, there was a study that actually proved that the earlier in the year you're born, on average, again, it's purely based on average, the more intelligent you are. Because the older you go into kindergarten, the more developed you are, the more you're going to pick up.
Yeah.
And then each and every grade from there on out, you're more apt to pick up more.
Cool.
What month is your birthday?
March. I'm one of the intelligent ones.
Nice. So March, April, June.
You're in the middle.
I'm only half.
Yeah, you're 6. You're right.
And it makes sense because there's this one intelligence survey, and it was like test your IQ really quick.
You did one of
Check
those?
how many F's there are in this paragraph, and it was what they said was F, and it was capital F apostrophe S F's. Check how many F's there are in this paragraph.
So I counted the number of
there's no F apostrophes in this whole goddamn thing. I got you. There's 0, none, bang, and it's like there's 18. Average people find 10, and people who are slightly smarter find 12, and you have to be really smart to find 16 or more.
So you got
And I was 0. I was like, "Fuck you, Mr. Intelligence."
I like you. See, but when you comment into one of those tests, that's the way I would look at it too.
Because it's almost like you're looking for a trick,
Right.
right? You're looking for the
I
trick.
don't know. I was looking for F apostrophe S's.
Right, because that's what it says.
Yeah.
Whereas, and see, I would read just F's.
Right, you would just count F's. I don't know. I'd probably start counting the F's and go,
Wait, this is too
this
easy.
is too easy.
So
Just
you'd only
count
find
F's.
like half the amount because halfway through you're like, wait a second.
Yeah,
maybe I'm-
this doesn't make sense.
Things aren't adding up here. Anyway.
Anyway,
That was a very long debate. I
was
hope
a-
you
that was a good
enjoyed.
one.
It wasn't necessarily anything to
made
do
it
with
this far.
games and movies, but the first half
That was
was, and then we kind of rambled on.
name of the game. Show.
Yeah. So until next time.
Keep on rambling.
Suck on my balls! Suck!